Tesla shares. Uh, when is a good time to sell? When is a good time to buy? And before I even get the intro started on this video, I am 100% sure some of you guys are going to be say, well, buy low, sell high. But there's a lot more to it than that. So that's what we're going to be talking a little bit about today. Let's get the intro started and we'll get right into it. Now, obviously, with the Q4 results, everything coming out, Tesla shares have gone basically berserk, right? Currently, they're standing, at the time I'm filming this, it's at $647 a share, and it is absolutely insanity. It's huge, it's big. And why is this? Well, that's because Tesla basically came out and went did exactly what they should be doing, under promising, over delivering. This is a big deal. With Tesla currently, what they're doing is they're really pumping in a lot of money into everything they want to do. So money comes in, they just keep putting it out. And I believe they have about, $6 billion cash on hand. So this is a very good thing. Tesla as a company is growing. But when is a good time to sell? When is a good time to buy? Is it a good time to buy right now? I have no idea. I myself, I am a Tesla shareholder, and it's something that I am new to. I don't know as much as a lot of professionals out there when it comes to shares and the stock market. That's not why I invested into Tesla. I really invested into supporting the company. Obviously, the fact that we bought our shares under $200 a share. Right now we're doing good. It's great for us. But when is it a good time to sell? For myself, I buy shares for the long term. It's for the long haul, right? I'm thinking 10, 20 years down the road. So where is Tesla going to be at that time? And is it a good time to sell when it gets to a certain point like this? I basically tripled my money. Or is it a good time to go into holding on to it and you never know what you're going to get? How much is this company going to be worth as time goes on? I'm looking at the shares right now. Like I said, $647 a share. Well, what do I think? What do I believe Tesla is going to be at, down the road? Now, I'm going to make some predictions. I'm going to talk about some ideas, some thoughts that I have. And I know full well a lot of you are going to be absolutely disagreeing with me. I know the comments. I'm expecting certain things in the comments, but I figured, you know what? I'm going to tell you guys what I think anyways. So here goes. When Tesla announced itself and, really got out there and you were able to invest into Tesla, obviously the shorts really have a interesting position on Tesla. They are taking a beating right now when it comes to Tesla itself. The shares have gone way more than I think it was ever really predicted. I do love the fact that there was a point when everybody kind of knew that these shares are going to go up. But then Tesla being what it is, it was very volatile at certain points. It went up and then it came down. We've seen it up at 300 and it dropped to 187 or somewhere along those lines. So when it comes down to it, it's very difficult to figure out what the stock market is going to do, right? It's a reactive thing. I noticed that, one person makes a decision and then kind of everyone else follows. Now, obviously, there's a lot of YouTubers out there who are really good at doing this stuff, talking about shares, and I appreciate them because they give us a lot of information, useful information that really gives us a insight of what they think. For myself, I base it on what I think the company is going to do in the future. If this company happens to become one of the largest automakers, it's going to be wild. It's going to be absolutely insane. So what is my prediction? My prediction is, honestly, I don't care if it comes true. I just don't. I'm not in a position where I care if I lose or I win that much. But obviously, like everyone else, I would like to see my money grow. And so what do I see? What do I see in the future? I think this is going to be a company that's going to go far. And if they keep maintaining this current pace with growth, with being smart about their decisions, I can see the company going around $1,000 to even $1,500 a share. With that said, to be honest with you, I can see it going up as high as $20,000 a share. And here come the comments. This is where you guys were going to be commenting and you guys think I'm out of my mind. But I did a little research, and like I said, I am not the kind of person who knows too much about these things. But if you do basic research and you find out where and how a company grows, it really starts adding up. Currently, Tesla, especially after the Q4 results, one thing I've seen is Elon is really, really determined to do certain things. And one of the biggest things is he's taking that money and just keeps putting it back into the company. In other words, he's not holding on to the money. Okay, in some people's eyes, this is a very bad thing. In my eyes, as somebody who enjoys the world of business, I can tell you this is the way to go. It's the smart way to go. It is the best possible thing Tesla could be doing right now. They're ramping up everything they're doing, and they're really, really pushing towards having a company that is everything internal as much as possible, obviously. But at the same time, they're pushing the limits. They're buying companies. The R&D is ridiculous. They're building new factories, and as time goes on, let's say in the next 5 to 7 years, this is going to be a company that is going to be almost impossible to catch. Of course, there are those people out there who are really into, they have their hearts set on the legacy automakers, right? I'm not saying that the legacy auto manufacturers cannot do a lot, and I think they will. I think there's going to be, we're going to see a huge influx of cars coming from the legacy manufacturers. And this is a good thing. This is kind of going with what Tesla wanted from the beginning. But Tesla is too far ahead at this point, and it's going to take a lot of time for everybody to start ramping up. And as they're ramping up, Tesla keeps going and going. This is why I say the fact that they keep reinvesting the money nonstop, and they're not just kind of getting to a comfortable zone. They just keep going and going and going. This is really something that's going to keep the company growing. What happens, something that most people don't consider, is most places are going to start outlawing diesel cars. Already are going to be outlawed in certain places, and eventually gas-powered cars are also going to be outlawed in certain places. Now, we're not talking a year down the road. We're talking a few years down the road. But as this is going to start happening more and more, you're essentially talking about a company that doesn't do anything but electric vehicles. And the automakers, the big legacy automakers, despite how much money they have, there has to be an R&D that has to be put in. And then once they put in the R&D, they have to build factories specifically for EV vehicles. I believe GM is said they're going to be doing this soon. So what does this have to do with the stocks? Well, you see, the stocks grow based on demand, right? At least from my understanding. So if demand for a share is there's more people wanting the share than the shares are available, then obviously the price of the shares keeps going up. It's also analysts. Now, analysts, I don't take much from analysts. Today's analysts are quite, they're not here nor there. A lot of the analysts are looking at Tesla as strictly as a vehicle manufacturing company. Others are starting to look at them as a tech company, and it's kind of, like I said, not here nor there. But the general public is coming along to what Tesla's all about, and there are regulators that are coming along to what Tesla is all about. And this is where Tesla is going to be really growing. Essentially, Tesla right now put themselves in a position where they have established themselves, but at the same time, they're growing and they're continuing to grow as a company. I am going to hold on to my stocks for a long time, and that's my plan. Obviously, you never know in life. Things can surprise you. You may have to sell it to, move forward in life. But as far as the mentality goes for me, I will not sell Tesla shares unless something drastic happens in my life. I want to hold on to this for 10, 15, 20 years easy. and I still want to buy shares. So now comes the question, is it worth buying shares at over $600? You're looking at the shares currently, and does it make sense to buy one share at $600? Most people who cannot afford to buy shares are gonna have a hard time. If you look at NEO, I believe NEO right now is like $4 a share. Is NEO gonna grow in the future? Who knows? So maybe if all you have is $1,000, maybe it's worth putting it into NEO and hope that they grow over time. But NEO is a different company, and we'll talk about that later, hopefully in a future video. I own shares in Apple as well. Apple has done really well, but ultimately, where is Tesla gonna go? I think Tesla's gonna keep going up, and I think Tesla's gonna go much, much further. I'm estimating, like I said, somewhere around $1,000 to $1,500 a share. I think that's very reasonable. But you know what? The sky's the limit. This can go really, really out of control, because the more control, the more Tesla, the bigger it gets, I should say, and the more of the market that it's holding, the more the value in the company, and eventually, as a value, what Tesla is as a company, as that grows, so will the shares over time. I don't know what everybody's opinion on it is. I obviously want to know your opinion. I like I said, I expect a lot of you guys to teach me a few things here and there. I don't know much about stocks. I just basically take the money, dump it in there, and do some research. Obviously, I'm not going in there blind. And now the question will be, what's going to happen? When I saw the sudden increase just recently, I do understand why that increase is there, but I don't know enough about stocks to give you guys stock advice. This is not advice. I'm not an advisor. Like I keep saying, I don't know much about stocks. But for me, when is a good time to buy? Obviously when it's low, but the question is $647 a share low in the big picture, right? If the mentality is buy low, sell high, we bought it pretty low, and so this would be a good time to sell. We tripled our money. But is this actually the low, and is it gonna go much higher? I think it's a weird question everybody asks in at what point is a good time. Like I said, in my opinion, the best way to go is put your money in there, put money that you can afford to lose. I treat the stock market as a casino. I never go into casino expecting to win. If I take $10 or $1,000 into a casino, before I even walk through those doors, I expect to lose every penny. When I invest into the market, I expect to lose every penny. And I find that's how the stock market works. It's basically a game of chance, because you never know. It's not in your control. The shares I own is minuscule compared to some of the big boys out there who have millions of dollars of shares. And so for your average Joe, if you want to go down that path, you own 2 shares, it's not going to make you much. You own 100 shares, you might do something. You own 1,000, 2,000, 100,000 shares in the company. That's really, really where you're really seeing true benefits. The fact that I'm in Canada, it kind of works to my disadvantage, mainly because you have to remember I have to put in US dollars. So even that money, by the time you take the US dollars and Canadian dollars and blah, 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 it might end up costing me a lot of money up front to put into shares. But of course, that works on an opposing side too, on the returns. So here we are. We are currently at a point where I don't know what is the best advice I can give you guys. But the best advice that I know for myself is I buy shares with money I can afford to lose. And I go in there always with the intent that I'm not going to get that money back. By doing that, I'm basically putting myself in a position where I can say to myself, ultimately, as the shares grow down the line, like I said, 10, 15, 20, 25 years down the road, that's when I'm willing to cash out that money. In the meantime, I'm investing into the company that I believe is, I want to see succeed. And I don't know any other way to do it. I'm always looking forward to your comments. I'm very, very curious what you guys are going to have to say about it. But I also want to know, do you own shares in Tesla? Would you like to buy more shares? And are you looking to get it for short term and just cash out when you have a chance, or are you looking to do what I'm doing, which is keep pumping money in there and worry about it in 25 years? All right, that's it. That's what I got for you guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'll have a new video coming out shortly, so yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell. It always helps. At least it will help you to know when I'm uploading. All right, take it easy, everybody. Bye bye.